Hello and good evening. Welcome to Fantasy Chat with Phil, coming at you live from Rollins College in Winter Park, Florida. Hope you're having a great evening as we discuss the Ultimate Fantasy Football League this evening. Our great commissioner, Ed Waddell, really likes to recap last week's games, and then he just says what they scored, and that's it. So what I'm going to do is add a little something extra to that, give you a little flavor, some thoughts on people's rosters and where they might have messed up. So, without further ado, here we go. And I just want to make the statement. Obviously, I'm at work right now. This is my second job. I work at gym at a college. So, if I turn away or check out a basketball or something, just deal with it. All right, sounds great. So we're going to start off with the worst game in the history of the league last week. It was the number 12 seed George versus number 11 seed David. George was victorious, 106-92. It was just awful to look at. Honestly, I think David should probably retire forever. He got 0 points from his tight end Greg Olsen, 1 point from his defense, and 1 point from his kicker. That's not going to win you many ball games. He was 4-9 on the year. David, try better, harder next time. Thank you. And George with a big game from Theo Riddick. Go Lions. That's all I'd say about that. Great job, George. Okay, that one's done. Next one up, we got Ray Sr. versus Joseph. Ray Sr. comes out with a big win, 123-119. Jordan Howard leading the way for Ray Sr. like he's done all year, having that huge 4-8-1 record against Joseph, who also had a 4-8-1 record. I just want to make a statement. I've been playing fantasy for 12, 13 years or so with decimal points, and ties don't happen with decimals. So the fact that they tied each other is very, very weird. Not that it mattered, because even if either one had won that game, they'd be 5-8. They both suck. So, sorry about that. But hey, great win, Ray Sr. Cool kicker got 14. Jake Elliott, go Eagles. Josh Gordon, big comeback, 14.4. Joseph had 21 from Kenyon Drake and 20 from Jarvis Landry. Big Dolphins guy, apparently, is Joseph. But just like in real life, he is bad at sports. These are fantasy sports he's bad at. He's also bad at real life sports, too. Sorry, buddy. Better luck next week. In the third and final consolation ladder game, we had Michael Willis with a win over Ray, 89-73. Ray. Maybe it is time for you to retire, man. I mean, at this point, you started a guy who scored negative points. What are you doing? I thought you knew things. Clearly, you have no idea how football works. I could probably teach you sometime. I was pretty good at it in high school. I know I don't have as many trophies as you. For anyone wondering, Ray at 100% brought all of his high school trophies with him to college and set them up in his room. So that was always fun to look at whenever we hung out. So, yeah. Michael, you're probably my least favorite person on planet Earth. So I'm not really going to say anything nice about your team. Okay. In the playoffs winners bracket, we had Philip Rainwater, the number 6 seed, dominate Garrett Baker, the number 3 seed, by a score of 132.2 to 93.5. That is a winning of nearly 40 points, 39.7, if math is right. Wow. What a dominating game. Todd Gurley, 27. Devontae Adams, 25. 2.6 from Steven Anderson. I mean, these are moves that... Who makes those moves? Young Phillip does. Great job, buddy. Garrett, awful. You're so bad. You have 14 Panthers in your lineup. You left 50 points on your bench, and your starter scored 93. So, make better decisions in the future. You have Matt Stafford on your bench, which is... No wonder you lost. Okay? I mean, that's like choosing fucking Tom Stortecki over Josh Peters. Come on. You get the right quarterback in. Unbelievable. And in the other playoff game, Ed Waddell, our dear commissioner, 86.1 points. Dakota Stewart, 158.2. Are you kidding me? That is insane. Carson Wentz, 27.2 points and a broken knee. 35 points from Bell, 9 from Dion Lewis, 14-6, 22 from his receivers. His defense served us 16, kicker with 9. I mean, my goodness gracious. What a buzzsaw to run through in the playoffs. That's got to hurt. Ed, you've been terrible all year. 8-5 record. You probably only really deserve 4 wins, so, whatever. Mohamed Sanu, 17 points sitting on your bench, bro? Not that it would have mattered. I mean, 158 would have beat anybody. I'm just kidding, Ed. You had a great team, buddy. I'm just sorry it happened to you like that. It's tough nugs. I, of course, as the 1 seed, had a bye week, so I didn't have to play anybody. And then Dalton also enjoyed the bye. If we played each other, I would have beat him 126-103, though. Not a big deal. So anyway, that moves us on to this week. This week, in the greatest matchup in the history of this league, me, the number 1 seed, this is not the team I drafted, versus the number 4 seed, We Want Phil, great team name, Dakota. Great effort out there. I'm projected to win by 2 points right now. We'll see what happens. Have a great night. We'll break it down position by position real quick. I've got Big Ben. He's got Case Keenum. I dominate the quarterback category. Lamar Miller and Jamal Williams versus Le'Veon Bell and Dion Lewis. Top of the dome, you'd be like, oh, Dakota's got that all day. Here's the thing. Jamal Williams is dominating for the Packers right now, so I think he's going to have a big week. Le'Veon Bell against the Patriots, we'll see. Hopefully they're going to throw because I got Big Ben and Antonio Brown. He's got Bell. That Steelers-Patriots game is going to matter so much. I'll be tuning in, getting very drunk. Receivers. I've got Antonio Brown, Tyreek Hill, Robbie Anderson. Pretty darn good squad. Antonio Brown's out of this world. Tyreek Hill, up and down, up and down, up and down. Fun story about him. So in odd number weeks, he scores double digits. In even number weeks, he scores single digits. Like, I'm not joking. 23, 6, 17, 6, 14, 5, 22, 2, 14, bye week, 11, 8, 33, 9. So he's due for a big game. Robbie Anderson hasn't done shit. He's got that really awful quarterback for the Jets now. Forget his name, but he sucks balls. So that's probably going to suck for me. He's got Des Bryant, Larry Fitzgerald, Michael Thomas. Those receivers are all very good, but Antonio Brown is so good that I think it counters those 3 very good guys he has. It's going to be a tight matchup. Tight end, I've got Delaney Walker. He's got Jack Doyle. I dominate there. Flex, I've got Latavius Murray. He's got Kareem Hunt. I think Hunt is better than Murray. I'm thinking about maybe throwing Chris Hogan into that flex spot. See what happens there. I don't know. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. Defense, I got the Rams versus the Seahawks. He's got Broncos versus the Colts. So hopefully the Colts score 98 points tonight. And Justin Tucker versus Steven Gostkowski is pretty even. So again, I'm projecting to win by 2. I just need the Steelers to pop off. And we'll see what happens. Dakota, best of luck to you, friend. Even though we've never met, you're still my friend. The other playoff matchup, Philip Rainwater versus Dalton Kirby. We got Alex Smith versus Aaron Rodgers. Obviously, a huge wild card there. Is Rodgers going to be good? I know he's healthy, but he hasn't played in 6 weeks, 8 weeks, whatever it is. So we'll see what happens there. Gurley and Fournette for Philip versus Kamara and McCoy for Dalton. That's an awesome matchup. 4 really good running backs. Fournette looks to be hurt again. Pretty standard. McCoy's at home in Buffalo. Last week he had 35 carries, so if they do that again, that'll bode very well for Dalton. Receivers, we got A.J. Green, Devontae Adams, Jameson Crowder for Phillip versus DeAndre Hopkins, Alshon Jeffrey, Jordy Nelson for Dalton. Name-wise, Dalton dominates. However, DeAndre Hopkins might have just lost Tom Savage after already losing to Deshaun Watson, so who's going to throw him the ball? Alshon Jeffrey just lost Carson Wentz, and Jordy Nelson has an injured Aaron Rodgers throwing to him. So those big-name receivers might not do much. Phillip could sneak some points there. Tight ends, we got Kyle Rudolph versus Gronk. Gronk's coming off that suspension, so he's fresh, ready to rock, do Gronk-type things. I think he's going to score about 87 points. In the flex spot, we got Alex Collins for Phillip versus Robert Woods for Dalton. I think Alex Collins will dominate the Browns. Bills D versus the Cardinals D. Who cares? And kickers, who cares about that either? Dalton is projected to win 125-120. I think Dalton's going to win by about 14. So, sorry, Phillip, good run, but it's just not going to happen there. The other games, they don't really matter because you guys weren't good enough to make it this far. Let me get Garrett's projected to win by 2 over Ed. Maybe. We'll see. Ray Sr. versus Michael. They're probably going to talk in the chat and complain about everything throughout the whole game. They're actually projected the exact same amount of points, 108.9. That's really weird. We got George versus Ray. Hopefully Ray gets beat, and so he retires as a huge loser. And David versus Joseph. David is projected to win by 9 points. Anyway, that's all I got for you. Have a great time.